Welcome to ACD Combatives, your combatives and control tactics channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. All right, guys, this is Kurt. I've had some conversations, and I want to address something. I hope I haven't been giving you all the wrong idea. That you shouldn't be using your other tools. You should be using weaponless defense, i.e. control tactics, martial arts, what have you. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. We get in law enforcement what I like to call a bat belt because it has some amazing tools on it. And the average police officer is a regular Joe. I know in the movies the police officer comes across like he's a ninja. Steven Seagal type characters that open up a can of whoop ass and can do so effortlessly. But I've seen a disturbing trend in law enforcement, and it has to do with the media. The media has made a lot of cops nervous about getting into any confrontations and forgetting about officer safety, letting suspects get too close. There is two ranges in law enforcement that you should be thinking about when you're contacting a subject for whatever reason. So you have reasonable suspicion or probable cause, you're investigating a crime, they're not free to go. And if that is the case, they're not free to go, i.e. you have probable cause, you're investigating something, let's just say a traffic stop, for example. It's a simple traffic stop. You are still contacting them for a crime, even though it's just a traffic violation. Of course, all this has to do with your jurisdiction and the difference between a citation being written for a violation versus a misdemeanor versus a felony. You get the idea. Regardless of what it is, you're detaining somebody to investigate. By statute, you have the right to use force to detain them if need be. Now, there are two ranges you need to be concerned about. Right up on their chiznit, right in their business, you're safe here. You're definitely not safe in this range. This is the punching range. Or you're safe way out of that range. So let me introduce you to my little friend, pepper spray. It is way underutilized in law enforcement today. Now, I know I've put out videos where a guy is like spraying the crap out of the bad guy and it's not working. He's wiping it off and he's attacking and the other officer pulls out a baton and can't get any swipes in, and it looked like a monkey screwing a football and it was a complete fiasco. If you don't know which video I'm talking about, contact me and I will send you a link or what have you, or you can scroll through my past videos. I'm not saying that tools are bad, they're good, but maybe it's because I grew up in corrections. First 5 years of my career was in corrections, where pretty much all we used other than our fists when we had to was pepper spray. Because a lot of times in corrections, whenever possible, we would try to engineer the contact, for example, cell extractions, what have you, and we use pepper spray. Now, since this is a conversation about pepper spray, I'm not going to get into percentages and all that kind of stuff. That's boring. And all that information is on the internet. There are basically two sizes that you should consider usable for everyday use. I'm talking not just for police, but for civilians. There are some quality brands out there. I'm a big fan of Fox and Sabre. Those are the two brands that I endorse. There's other good brands. It's just that from personal experience, I use Fox and I use Sabre. Right now, I pretty much use Fox. They're both great brands. So generally speaking, just like firearms, you buy a good quality law enforcement grade brand. That's what I'm saying. You've got this small container right here, which is what you'll see me carry on my belt on duty. Females, you can put this in your purse. Males, you can put this in a pocket. Off duty, I carry one in my pocket. And it's, I wear Dockers or whatever, you can't tell. Perfectly good size, or maybe the step up, it's about twice the size. I said, what is this? I can't see how many ounces this is. I think this is like 4 ounces and this is like 2 ounces. Guys, those little keychain models, if you're a civilian, don't ever get that. Those are crap. You are going to want the flip top for security. And I'm a big fan of the Stream. We've talked about this before, where the Stream is more pinpoint. I guess if you're a civilian, the fog isn't bad, but there's secondary contamination. There's more of that going out. If you're a police officer, it's more of an issue than if you're a civilian, but I'm a big fan of the Stream. A quality name brand such as Fox or Sabre, and the Stream, and you want a water-based carrier, because otherwise it can be flammable. If you go to Taser's website, they have a list, or maybe back in the day they did. I don't know. I haven't been to the website forever. Back in the day, you could get a list of approved products. But generally speaking, it will tell you that it's water-based or non-flammable on the label, and that's what you want to go with. That's more of a law enforcement thing, because then you end up, using your taser on somebody, and there might be a spark and cause a flame. I worked at a prison where that happened, where the product was mislabeled, and the inmate caught on fire for a few seconds, and it was chaos. But it definitely had the mental effect on the inmate. He was freaking out. Back to this. Pepper spray, guys. What I'm saying, what is so great is you don't have to be a ninja. You can be in that safe range from out here and spray somebody and not have to be anywhere near them to make that contact. For example, I'm like, sir, you're under arrest. You turn around, put your hands behind your back. He says, screw you. You're like, last chance to do it. He starts stepping towards you. You spray him in the face. There's patterns and everything instructors teach, guys. All that is BS. Just douse the face for a few seconds. Back in the day when I first started in law enforcement, we didn't have pepper spray. We used mace. And then I used to teach, or they taught us, you spray to the shirt and then rise up, because then the fumes of the mace would continue to rise in their face. Guys, this is not a chemical product. It's capsicum, which is natural product. Peppers, basically, hot peppers, capsicum or capsicum. I never pronounce it right. You get the idea. Look it up on Google. So get back. I'm in a same kind of stance I would be if I was drawing any other weapon. I put this hand up here as kind of a shield in case there's a little breeze. I'm always wearing glasses on the job anyway. But that's just me. I recommend that you wear safety glasses on the job, especially since I had my eye injury. I'm way more freaky about that stuff. But back to the pepper spray. Stop, get back, spray the face, and redirect. Move yourself, move your ass, because according to the Department of Justice for the state of California, 89% of society is affected. Now guys, 85% or 89%, excuse me, is a damn good percentage. It's better than a taser use, and it's actually better than firearms. Problem is, affected to what degree? I've seen pepper spray kick in almost instantly, where the person's like, and they're freaking out and they don't like it. And I've had people like, oh, now I'm pissed, and it's really bothering them, and they're doing this kind of stuff, but they can still kind of fight. So what I recommend is to spray and then move. Maybe pull out your baton then, and it's like, get on the ground, and they turn and come at you. Maybe you strike them. Maybe you're like, I said get on the ground, and you're keeping your distance from them and angling. Just like when you firearms, shoot, move, communicate, you're doing the same thing with your pepper spray. Spray and move. Now guys, spray the guy once for a few seconds. This one's already almost out. This is an inert model. And then that's it. A bad guy, if it's not going to kick in the first 10 seconds, it's probably not having the effect you want to have. It's an undesirable effect, unfortunately. It just doesn't always work. It usually always works to some degree. To what degree, I don't know. That's individual. I've seen inmates back in the day that would just like, yeah, no problem. I put that stuff on my food. Bring it, And others freaking out. Every time we trained back in the day, we were sprayed. When I went to the academy, we were sprayed. And then you had to make an arrest. Well, sprayed, fighting a guy in a red man suit, putting cuffs on him. And that's so you know how you are affected. It's really important to know how you were affected to it. It's just why in law enforcement, if you carry a taser, at least back in the day, you would get tased. Not so many agencies do that anymore. Anyway, spray, drop the can, and move. Reassess. If he's turning towards you and recalculating the situation, maybe like I said, get down. You know, it's like he turns for you and starts coming up with those assault indicators, or saying something like, I'm going to kick your ass, or I'm going to kill you, or I'm not going to jail, or whatever the pre-assault indicators are. You know, maybe he's got a weapon, and at the very least, you've got weapons, though there are other weapons on scene. So you don't want him to be in touching range unless you have calculated that move. Like, I have to arrest him, so I have to move in and get to him. Guys, like I said, this is a safe range as you're entering, and this is a safe range. Clinch range is super safe. Now, you got to train the clinch range. This is why I emphasize, guys, the pummeling and the clinch is so damn important, because when I'm in clinch range, all my tools are now in clinch range too. So, guys, I guess at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, don't forget your great tools. Don't overuse them. I know that in my videos previously I talked smack about some of the tools, only because they're being overused in law enforcement. And it bothers me. And then with CNN, cops are almost underreacting now, I've noticed. And that's dangerous for you. You want to go home to your family, right? Follow your training, follow your guidelines. And that's what your union protection's for. That's what FOP protection is for. That you let the lawyers battle that crap out after the fact. You just do the right thing and follow your training. And please don't forget your pepper spray. It is my favorite tool of all the cool tools we have. Other than your brain and your gift of gab, this is a phenomenal tool for law enforcement. It's because it just isn't getting used anymore, because the taser is so cool and everybody loves how, you know, Star Trek-y it is. Guys, it's not, in my opinion, not as good as pepper spray. Now, you're going to deal with pepper spray after the fact. You're going to, you know, depending on your agency policy, call EMS. I carry an extra gallon of water in my truck at all times, so I can, you know, once I get the individual handcuffed and searched for weapons, I will start dousing and get on the line and say, hey, I just had to use pepper spray. Can I get an EMS unit out here? That's my agency. Guys, if you have any questions, contact me. Again, don't forget about the awesome tools we have. Just don't overuse them, and definitely don't underuse them. And at the end of the day, reevaluate the pepper spray. It is an amazing tool. All right, guys, take care and stay safe.
Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out. Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out.